Good evening, welcome back to All the Old Things. Tonight, I'm going to the drive-in during a thunderstorm with my good friend Steve to see the new Star Wars Mandalorian and Grogu movie. I would have done this last weekend when we had good weather, but I was down south. So we're back here at the going to the galaxy. Hopefully the weather holds out, because I got a bad feeling about this, like they say in Star Wars. That might not be the case. I'm also really keen to talk to Steve about his Star Wars experience when he was growing up. I'll catch you in the vlog. Stephen, welcome to the vlog.
Oh, it's great on this rainy night.
Yeah, he's got his red rooster. We might be the only ones there. We'll soon find out. Usually, even in winter, so far, we've gone many times this year. Usually in winter, there are people sitting outside. I wonder if there will be today. I don't know. So we're going to go try. I reckon we'll try and get close to the screen so that even with the rain on the screen, we could still see the movie. Yes?
Cool. Good to me.
Okay, let's go get in there, and I'm going to try and get something to eat there. I've learnt, though, that if you can order stuff that's already in the Bain Marie, so maybe I'll have to do that. Maybe get a hot dog, chicken nuggets and chips. I don't know. I'm not that hungry. I think out of the burgers I've had so far, I enjoyed the steak burger better, but I had a big lunch at Aqua, so let's see how we go. We'll see you in the drive-in. Okay, let's do this. Steve, you can read the specials out for us.
Right.
Okay, specials, please.
Here are tonight's specials at the Galaxy Drive-In on the 29th of May. We have a homemade burger for $17.50, and you'll get chips and a drink with that too. And if you want a milkshake, you just got to pay $2.80. And if you want to add egg, cheese or onion, it's only 60 cents extra each. What a bargain. So those are the specials tonight at the Galaxy Drive-In.
Awesome. Cool. There are people here. It is a bit wet, a bit windy. There wasn't someone at the gate when we got there, which is hilarious. There's a few cars out and about. Yeah, it could be a big storm coming our way. See how we go. Let's get some food. Cool. Okay, I'm back. I think the radio's already tuned, which is great. I got the chicken nuggets chips, taking a leaf out of Adrian Tim's book, because it was already there in the Bain Marie and there was no one else around. So people walked up to the candy bar or cafeteria or whatever just as I was getting there, but this is it. So that's what I'm getting. I had as I said, big lunch, so I'm pretty happy with that. I also got a solo this time, not a cola beer, which is what I had last time. They've got all the classic like Schweppes things there. And cool. Okay, we're good for time being. Might open the windows a little bit, and we're going to settle in. Okay, we've finished our food. Steve's catching his breath. We're here to see Mandalorian and Grogu, which is like a continuation from the first two series of that Star Wars series. You want to tell us about your earliest Star Wars memories and experience?
Oh, well, I mean, this is back in the day. I think it's 1978. So, I mean, you know, you're only like, I was 10 years old, so you have to go with your parents, obviously.
It sounds like you didn't know, you know.
Well, what happened when I went to see, and I mean, you just thought of it as Star Wars. You didn't recognise it was Episode 4.
No. Okay, that's an interesting point. Apparently, Star Wars when it first came out was not called Episode 4. It was just Star Wars. In the early days of Star Wars, it did not say Episode 4. Apparently, that bit was cut in like after the fact.
Okay, well that's interesting. Yeah. Because
you're right. No one knew it as A New Hope. That stuff came later.
Yeah. So I mean, there was so many. There was not one seat left in the cinema.
Yep.
So I'm there with my mother, and we're seated separately. But like, you're just you're just a little kid, you know, and you think, oh, I'm scared. What if I get separated, and I don't know how I'm going to get home, and all this sort of stuff. And yeah, I mean, look, it was just a great movie at the time. I don't remember much back then. I do remember actually seeing the short.
So are we talking Hoyt Cinema 2 Winnamba Arcade?
Hoyt Cinema 2, and it was before it was split down the middle.
Yeah. So it was one big cinema. Yeah.
So yeah, and I do remember in Cinema 1, maybe when I was watching Spy Who Loved Me.
Oh yes.
I remember the preview, the shorts of Star Wars, and it's like where And
the really weird one is the early. I do actually have this on 35mm. The early trailer for Star Wars did not have the John Williams music.
Oh, interesting.
Completely different. Yeah.
So yeah, look, that's the first time I saw it, and then another time, which was quite funny.
Yes.
It's actually when it came onto free-to-air TV.
Oh yeah.
Which I think was 1982, and it was a big deal.
It took 5 years.
So yeah, and because it was on this 96 FM, which was the first Perth station,
yeah.
It was Stereocast, yeah. So actually, in those days, they had these tapes, these physical tapes.
Yeah.
With so I actually recorded it. So
audio or video? Audio.
Audio. So the next 20 odd years, I'd be listening to this thing on tape. So it's quite funny. Like
that's pretty cool. I was going to tell you my story about seeing Star Wars for the first time. Was Star Wars came out in May or June in the US, and it didn't come out here until early December, I think. And my mum entered a competition. Like there was a picture of like Darth Vader walking down the corridor, in a newspaper, and she entered the competition, and we won. I think maybe we won 2 free tickets, and she had to pick up 2 more. So we actually managed to see Star Wars on like the 13th or 18th of December in 1977. And, it was in the Winnumber Arcade one. I mean, like this thing, we think, especially the original Hoyt's Tucson was massive and this and that. But what was really sad, before the Winnumber Arcade Cinema, there was the Ambassadors there, which like fit, I don't know, 3,000 people or some ridiculous amount. And it was all these classic, beautiful cinemas. And they knocked it down to build Winnumber Arcade. So we obviously missed out a bit.
So it is the Ambassador, it's not the Royal, because I remember the Royal.
No, the Royal's still in. Okay, the Royal Cinema is still around, but it's not used. The Royal and the Savoy Hotel and the Little Savoy Cinema, they still exist, but they're got rats and they're falling apart. And I know people like Satria from the Revival House have actually been through both of those, I think, and it's not in a great shape. And don't forget the Royal, I mean, there is a Royal Cinema now, which is part where the old IMAX used to be in the Royal Arcade, but the Royal Theatre or Theatre Royale or whatever you call it, the one next to London Court. The one next to London Court, they actually used the foyer, I think, and maybe the bottom of the cinema when they built Hoyt Cinema 4, when they had the twin 2-3 and they expanded into the building next door. That Hoyt Cinema 4 was built into the bottom of that building, so you can't really just like open it up again. I remember coming out of Hoyt Cinema 4 and coming out and going, oh, I'm in the building next door where Bets and Bets is, or whatever Bets is. So yeah, they've kind of, it was a theatre inside a theatre. So it's a very interesting situation. Oh yeah, so I saw it then, and we got fairly good seats. And then I saw it in Hoyt Cinema 2 again later that summer. My brother and I were supposed to go see Herbie Goes Bananas. And we went, we should just go see Star Wars again. So we were lucky we got 3rd front row. I remember going down the trench run going, whoa, I feel sick kind of thing, because it was bouncing around all over the place, which is hilarious. So Empire was, I presume, Hoyt Cinema 1.
That's right, Hoyt Cinema 1, yes.
Yeah. And Return of the Jedi as well, I imagine.
Yes. Some critics reckon Empire is actually the best.
Which one's your favourite?
Yeah, probably Episode 4, I'd say, followed by.
Yeah. I think for me, I would say my favourite films in the world are Episode 4, Star Wars: A New Hope or whatever, and North by Northwest. Love that film. And I think for me, it's like the Beatles. It's like James Bond. If you were there alive at the time, especially being like a 9-year-old kid at the time. This was the world. It meant everything. It was huge. It was everywhere in pop culture, media, and it was unexpected. Star Wars, like Steve said, wasn't predicted to be this amazing thing. And Return of the Jedi.
Return of the Jedi, yeah. Once again, I think, maybe the Ewoks were a bit silly. Like the space scenes were better when they're fighting in space and stuff.
Should have Han survived or should have Han died,
The actual, the Dark Sith or whatever it is, he was good.
Oh yeah.
The guy in the cloak with the cold.
Yeah. He's such a good actor as well.
Yeah. So once again, Cinema 1.
Okay.
All right. Are we going to 1, 2, and 3, or?
Oh, you mean like your favourites or what? You want to go? Okay. Quickly, what do you think? Where did you see 1, 2, and 3?
All right. So 1, I saw at the Warwick Cinema. 2, I saw at the Odeon Cinema in London.
Whoa.
And 3, I saw at Inaloo. Event Inaloo.
Yeah. 1, I saw it at Event Cinemas Inaloo, and it was kind of out of focus. And then when I was still projecting in Leinster then, so I have projected number 1. I think I've also projected number 2, but I first saw 2 at the cinemas in Kalgoorlie. Yeah, and then I first saw 3. Film's coming on. I first saw 3 at the cinemas in Northam that don't exist anymore. So
okay.
Cool. Okay, we'll catch you after the film. There we go, 89.5, go for Galaxy. Okay, Stephen, we did it. Thank goodness the rain dried off, because
It's hard to watch.
It was hard to watch the start bit. Yeah, it's really hard when, like, some people are looking at the back of their vans or their whatever's coupes or whatever, and they can see okay. But for us, looking at the screen, especially at the start when it was raining, like, you couldn't see a lot at all, which was not the best. But it dried off a bit. I had a couple of blobs on my thing, and I was like, "Is there like a leaf on there?" And it wasn't a leaf; it was just that. So, what do you think of the film?
I thought it was pretty good. Overall, 3.5 stars.
Especially from what we could see, it was a bit dark in spots.
Yeah. The music is good.
I love it. Love the music.
There are space scenes. There's like they go into hyperspace. Personally, I thought in the beginning and the end they have like the Sigourney Weaver character, and so they have people, and I think those parts are better than just when it's the CGI and the Rat of the Hut, I think his name is.
Right, yeah. He's like the muscle bound. Hut.
Yeah, there's sort of a middle part where I just got a bit lost with what the plot was and how it was working and stuff.
Like, it is very episodic. It feels a lot to me like the Spider-Man movies from, like, not quite the bad technology, the Spider-Man movies from the 70s where they like just patched episodes together. It feels a bit like that, but it's got a lot of spirit to it, and obviously Baby Yoda or Grogu is very, very cute. And I think it isn't like amazingly. I think it's probably the best Star Wars film we've had on the big screen in the last 20 years, which isn't saying much. But it is. It's cute. It's very, very cute. I love the music. Like, I love John Williams' music, but that music, like, I think I prefer that kind of like Western kind of music than trying to have a John Williams rip-off. If it's not John Williams doing the orchestral classical Star Wars music, this is better. This is the way that they should go.
It is a bit like, it does feel like one of those Disney Mandalorian episodes.
Yes.
And they do take aspects of episode 4 and that, like, remember the wipes that go up or go down?
Yeah.
They've put that in there, and there's an R2D2 droid. I don't know if it's R2D2 or C3PO. You see them, just they're not part of the story or anything. But overall I thought it was entertaining. I just got a bit lost in the middle.
It's like the movie Australia, like, you know, they have a mission to go do, like bring the cattle to Darwin or whatever it is, and then they do that, and then the film's like, oh yeah, I've done it for a while, and there's some really cute stuff. It's kind of almost like an Elvis movie where he's got to entertain a kid, so there's some really cute stuff in there, and then the story clicks back into gear where they got to go do stuff.
As I said, it's got good music and the photography's good. I mean, there's aspects of episode 4 and there's aspects of, like, the Disney
there's quite a few
net
references
series
to the original Star Wars.
Overall pretty entertaining. I think the kids would enjoy it. So 3.5 stars from me.
It's starting to rain again. And it's just the very end of the movie, so we've timed that perfectly. I don't think I'd recommend going to see a dark movie at the Galaxy Drive-In when it's raining, unless you can do the back thing or whatever. I don't know, the sound sounded really good, and the picture, once it did clear from that first 20 minutes or 15 minutes, we were very lucky. If it had gotten worse, I think we would have been in a lot of trouble, but we saw the film. I wouldn't mind going to see it again in the cinema, but I think coming up for here at the Galaxy is the Masters of the Universe movie, so it's very throwback to the 80s time, which we love, of course, right?
We do.
Yes.
I think overall Disney, after the disasters of episode 8 and 9, they've possibly gone back to the drawing board, looked at some of the earlier
what works.
Exactly, and sort of worked up this movie, which is pretty good.
I like how you did that. You said 8 and 9, because 7's not bad, is it? If 7 had good films after it, it would have been really good. But 8 and 9 were a mess because they didn't plan ahead, which is stupid. That was good fun. I'd be interested to see what they do next, but that works. I have no problems with that. Cool. My name's Iain.
My name's Steve.
And we'll see you back here at the Galaxy or somewhere else on all the old things very soon. See you then.
Very soon.
Bye.